And good morning everybody, my name is Osa. We are playing Farming Simulator 22 on Glenleathann. And welcome to, well, it's June 2. And as you can see, I got up bright and early this morning and the silage bunker is cleared. That was step one of the goals today, so we got lots and lots of money and I've spent it all. In fact, I've done more than spend it all. So we have another 6 hay contracts to do because they're the only contracts available that I could do this morning. The voucher is working its way through the third mowing, and I decided we'd skip through a lot of this so we can, I'm not mowing and raking and everything for the entire start of this episode. What else is happening here? Okay, he's on the third, so we're going to have to come back every so often. He's got 17 minutes to run, so we'll let that happen. Step on to the next one. We have the the Deutz is now actually raking field 2, so I'm going to need to move that over to where the voucher is. This one has 5 minutes left to run. So, that's a good thing. And finally, I went shopping. I do not need courseplay selected for this one, so we'll jump out here. Unfortunately the T8 did drop off the sale, so we don't have access to that. I did buy this new, so that's the that's the hoe. This is a 940 which has 385 horsepower, and this is weight, which I figured probably a good idea to have. Apart from that, this is as is. It needs to be fixed. That is probably going to cost me an absolute fortune. But we're going to be using this for quite a significant part of the day. It does also mean that if a big cart comes up, we could get it, because I've got a feeling, okay, that didn't quite work. I have a feeling that this tractor will be far more capable of pulling a heavy grain cart than the voucher is, for multiple reasons. Now it's going to be the frightening point of, can we get this serviced before we take it anywhere? That's fine. Repair, 1,800, that's actually not bad. 1,800, probably because I don't have GPS installed, which would add another 15 base. Now we will eventually put a GPS system on this tractor just because I need, it's going to be our main fieldwork tractor for the most part. So voucher will be predominantly mowing these days unless I have 2 tasks to do and I can split it. Obviously I can only seed with one thing, even though I have 2 seeders, because we don't have the seed tank, or 2 seed tanks, but we can cultivate, we can plough, we can do all the things, and this tractor will be mostly doing that. I'll avoid using this for as much as possible on the mowing side of things. Might use it for carting. How are our tractors doing? So there's 2 minutes left on the Tedder. is getting blocked. Should we go check? Oh, of course. So, let's disconnect him. Drag that along the side of the hedge. This is really not a great plan on my part, but okay, that works. I want to go to the nearest waypoint. Go. The mower's doing fine. We can get back in the Claas, and yes, I know most of my series have featured a Claas 940, surprisingly. We started off on Lawfolds with one of these. I then selected it as my big tractor on Oakfield. Maypole, we didn't use it, so I'm sort of okay bringing this back. Now, I've already checked this field. Tyres are not a problem. We are not killing anything. What I'm not sure about is if this hoe will pull up our corn. That would be decidedly bad. Okay, we can lower that. Lower. Please lower. Why aren't you? Oh. Why aren't you lowering? Because I have the weight selected. We will drive forward very, very carefully. And yay. Okay, let's do this job. So, mechanical weeding on this field. That will give us somewhat of a environmental bonus when we harvest it. He's driving around in circles. He's having a problem. And I think this is all down to the closeness of the hedges. I think ideally Courseplay does like a little bit wider course, but there's really not a lot I can do about it. Oh, we were at the right place. So you'll notice that the hoe repositions to get the weed extracting heads in the rows. So if I don't keep a straight line, the hoe will attempt to. And this is something I was saying last week about Giants DLC tends to be very what's the word for it? They might not give you a lot of equipment, but the equipment they give you, they do spend a lot of time paying attention to the details. The heads moving individually, which base game stuff isn't always the case. And that whole slotting right, slotting left thing. So I lower that down, you'll see it position itself on the corn row, at least theoretically on the corn row. So we're not pulling up the fledgling maize plants, we're pulling up just the weeds. The Vermeer pack, when that came out, you could see the stitching on the belts. They'd actually taken time to model those, as opposed to normally most of the weeders we get, most of the balers we get, they're just black belts with no obvious stitching. And I think even the Fendt Massey Ferguson round baler wrappers that we got, they don't have that particular feature. So it seems to me, just because Giants, they're bringing out a DLC with 10 pieces of equipment, what's the point? I've got all of those before. The thing is the attention to detail they play on them, not necessarily. It gives, in some cases there are some gameplay aspects where the equipment can do things that you weren't able to do before. So back when we got the Kern DLC, we got a baler wrapper, and that was the first time we'd ever seen a round baler that could wrap. Up until that point you had balers and the wrappers were separate. Kern DLC also gave us the merge instead of just the regular windrunners. Again, do you need the merge? No, but it's a different way of doing things. With the Vicon Cavernland DLC, we got the fast bale, which meant that you didn't have to stop around baler as you were baling. Unfortunately, we all learned rather quickly that that particular round baler was, it would limit the tractor speed to the rate at which it could bale and wrap. So if you had big windrows, it ran very, very slowly, because it didn't want to complete a bale before it had finished wrapping the previous one. So that was sort of a downside of the fast bale. But if you've got a small farm with small equipment and you're not doing much in the way of rowing, you've got one of the little single vane rowers, for example, you can wrap bales at full speed and not have to stop, which was really nice, because up until that point all we had was square balers that you didn't need to stop. Okay. Drifted too far over, I think, there. That's better. How's our... someone stopped. Let's stop this one. You have finished work. Now, buying DLC, it's really a case of do you want to or don't you want to. It's not, it's still a personal choice as to whether you want to buy the DLC. But it does mean that I might not have wanted to go this way. We'll find out. It does mean that it's not just another brand of new equipment. There are some other things, benefits you get from it. Yeah, unfortunately, there's not a good direct route from the field we just finished heading to the one I need to do next. And part of the reason is I actually have to go... I went the other way, and I ended up having to go right to that map edge over there and then come back. It's quite a long drive down the road. Going this way similarly, we are trekking well out of our way. Yeah. I mean, we're practically on this side of the map just to get to the bottom fields. It is what it is. Anyway, we'll know when we do the rowing. But yeah, if you just view a DLC as number of pieces of equipment, it's not that impressive most of the time. The Platinum DLC, what we're going to be getting is the Premium Edition. That's going to be good stuff, primarily because we're going to be looking at... Are you stuck? Yes. We're going to be looking at equipment, lots and lots and lots of pieces of equipment. Slightly less detail paid to them, and also game mechanic. So for the Premium DLC, we're going to be getting... well, you're having an issue, aren't you? We're going to be having carrots and all the things. That has really not worked out well, has it? It's still missing things in the corners. Change. Going to go back to the courseplay settings again. Nearest waypoint. Go. Not sure where we end here, but I'll figure that out. We've got 2 minutes left on that run. Back to doing the thing. So sadly this tractor doesn't do reverse drive, otherwise I could merge with this. But the plan here, we do have 12,000 in the bank, so I can carry on paying workers for quite some time. The oscillating of this weeder might get a little bit distracting after a while. Still, maybe I should drive in a straight line rather than off angle. So like I said, we'll add GPS to this eventually. At the moment, this isn't... we don't have a lot of farm field work to do. So most of the stuff I'll be doing with this is probably carting grass product. But like I said, we'll take a look at maybe getting a larger grain cart for that purpose. Maybe even a forage cart. That's close enough. Let's go, dude. So that came up blocked by an object. I left the engine running on the Deutz, which probably shouldn't have done. And the Valtra has 1 minute to run. So as soon as the Valtra's done, we'll nip over there, we'll move him off to one of the other fields. Might get lucky actually. At the rate I'm getting through this while supervising the workers, we may end up quite close to all the mowing done. Said we're on the third field, we've got 3 more. It takes about 15 minutes a field, and if I'm not in this field for all the time, it will take us as long as it takes us. So yeah, I got another safety weight for this tractor. Predominantly, this one's probably going to be running around with a weight on the front most of the time. I do like the Claas 940. It has served us well over our many series, so it's nice to have one back. Although this one is a little bit old. As the farm expands, we are probably going to need to look at keeping our equipment new and not running out to 150, 200 hours on each piece of equipment. The Valtra's getting to the point now where it needs maintenance incredibly frequently. This morning I maintained the Valtra. I filled it with diesel. The Deutz was fully maintained when I finished up using it last week. So it's not in any serious state, or it wasn't in any serious state when we started today. However, that's not necessarily a case, and the Valtra's stuck again. Indeed. Okay, what I was trying to get it to do is not working. I thought there was a setting that would allow for the worker to work to the edge like that, and then start away from the edge when making the turn. That is not happening. What's happening is it works up to the point where the grass still exists on the left of that patch, and then it lifts up and it tries to embed itself in the corner, and because the mower is on the back of the tractor, that is causing all sorts of problems. Temporary course, nearest waypoint, go. So I was hoping to get it to run into the corner and then pick up sort of into the field. That's not a setting I've been able to find. We might see that here. Oh, stop is round the corner. Really? Okay. So yeah, it will stop early, like there, lift up, and then back into the corner and cut from the corner. And I wish it would drive into the corner and then push further out. So I'm having to do, and that's probably because of all the the tightness of the hedges on this map. Courseplay's not very happy with that. Okay, Deutz is in the way, so I'll pull this out. So actually, that was a save here. Let's raise tools early. It's not working. So I'll raise too late, lower tools early. Save. Back and clear the course. New course. And because I've already set up these for how I want them to do, I can just skip that entirely. I'm gonna have to change that to first waypoint. Position us approximately there and go. Okay, let's get the Valtra down to the next field, which, who knows where that is? I think there's two of them over here. So if we come out of here up to there, straight across, we'll get those two fields. Looks fine. And the Valtra is still over our only front loader at the moment, so I do want either a telehandler or a skid steer. If we get a skid steer, we'll probably end up with both skid steer and telehandler eventually. But for right now, just need something with things, arms to lift things. So the other thing with at least all of these jobs, I'm doing them as course play, do the middle bit, and then typically I'm always having to come and help finish off the edges. So it's not much better than a worker, where you can either do the edges of the field and then set the worker off, or you can do the edges, you can do a course play and finish off for the worker. Actually, it works both ways. You can either do the edge of the field, or you have to come and finish, tidy up the edge of the field because the worker was just horrible. And course play's not making that easy on this map. And as I said, I think it's because of the oh, well, that was a fun drive. Could have driven down the road. Still, we now have two fields here. I'll do them in sequence, why not? Turn around that. Oh. And don't have to change that because we're using the same tractor every time. And let's go find the start of this. This is a big field. Oh, good grief, this is a huge field. Okay then. Somewhere down this end, there's a little blue arrow. That looks to be over there. Oh, I should fish my tea bag out of the tea. That's been brewing for a good, 20 minutes. Oops. And it's strong tea, so that's going to be super strong. That's sort of how long I usually leave an American tea bag in a tea cup to brew. Okay, we'll unfold that, and first waypoint, and go. And off he goes. He's doing well. He's got 22 minutes. Hey, we got 22 minutes to do